jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know WCS the first in the building. Salute to you. We back with another one. Yes, we're going to continue to talk about the system. Yes, a system that pretty much operates off the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of changes that's been taking place lately. We only several years removed from the pandemic where boxing was seriously struggling. You had individuals fighting in what was be considered the first time ever in a bubble. I'm pretty sure fighters remember that miserable moment on all the restrictions that they had to go through in the bubble. But that is the system. You know what I'm saying? That is a system. Everybody's freaking format for that fight week while we was in the pandemic was different. WCS is once again here to explain to you all how the system is changing. There's been so many voices that are crying for help, all because what they've been accustomed to for decades at a time. Now you have someone that's in the game that's not only making changes to what we've been complacent, going by the same standard operating procedures for years. Now you have the situation that's going on with the box rec. Look, good old box rec, right? Box rec where nothing matters. It only matters for certain people. But box rec is the register where you can locate the information that you're looking for and everything that goes along with it. When it comes to the boxing, you can look up an opponent, his opponents, their opponents. You can basically look up their fine detailed information about their reach, height, how many bouts they had, when did they start the sport, what their alias is, where they're from. I mean, good old box rec, right? Well, guess what? You look on there now, the WBA is no longer a part or will be depicted or displayed on box rec. Why? Because you have a group, Brunch Boxing, that .com has pretty much got a hold of the the WBA. And you can pretty much find an imitation of what box rec is. They're in the process of building it up. We're going to get to that. But I want to talk to you about Mike Carpenter's text. It says, quite absurd, WBA titles are no longer listed on box rec. Totally alters how useful the site is as a research tool when writing and reporting stories. Understanding what led to it, but really should stick to listing the records and the facts, in my opinion, for a site that's such a great source. This is from Mike Carpenter. Hey, my question to you, Mike Carpenter, being that, it's always fun and games when you all are breaking information. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Why you couldn't brief us on this? I'm serious. Why look, you probably want to know why he responded the way he did, who he was responding to. Let me tell you who he was responding to, okay? Mike Compton was responding to Matt Brunch, boxing CEO of brunchboxing.com. They put on X, for those that don't know why the WBA titles are no longer listed publicly on BoxRec, you can read all about it here at brunchboxing.com. We broke the story. Hey, that just goes to show you how the sanctioning bodies are doing their own thing. That's why I did the live on the numbers, the financial statements, because there's a lot of people talking about areas and scope of authorities that they have nothing to do with. And this is a prime example on how the sanctioning bodies are detached within the system of boxing. It just goes to show you how open-ended the system of boxing is, where somebody can come in here and alter what we're used to as fight fans and consumers. Especially if you're reporting on boxing. It's altered the state. Because yes, we was able to go on there several years and type in BoxRec or so and do our research. Now, you're not seeing certain titles on there. You have to go off what you know. You have to basically relocate to go to brunchboxing.com. And you're probably asking yourself, where's brunchboxing.com, man? Here it is right here. I mean, they still in the process of, working. But here is an article that they had on the home, Brunch Boxing. They got the light, colorful, quite different than BoxRec, huh? Now, some of you might say, oh, that's cheesy, that's generic. It takes us back to the Atari days. It does. I kind of like it. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gives you some bright, vibrant colors. You know what I'm saying? Maybe these colors will give you a better attitude when you go up here and look up these boxers. Because when we was looking at BoxRec, it seems like everybody was freaking mad all the time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. But shit, Brunch Boxing, they got colors up here for you. This is brunchboxing.com, y'all. If I go back, this is the home where they have articles, right? They have these articles. I'm just strolling through the hood of brunchboxing.com, right? That's causing all the uproar. Brunchboxing.com is causing all the uproar for the removal of the WBA recognition on BoxRec. Who and what allowed that power to be removed from BoxRec? Who did that? Who? Let's take a look at it right here. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look, baby. The WBA removed from BoxRec amid attempt to replace it. They trying to replace BoxRec, y'all. Who would have thought that BoxRec didn't have a better security, a better perimeter setup, a better 360 security perimeter setup, so this would never happen? Someone has infiltrated BoxRec. Boy, these sanctioned bodies, they can be bought at any given time, man. Whatever they did, boxing is a business. What you see in the back, Riyadh season. They're taking over. They're taking over. Let's read a little bit, okay? For those of you that need your focals, go get some cocoa, you know what I'm saying, and come and join me as we have a, read along on this Thursday. Boxing oldest recognized sanctioning body, the WBA, has lost its recognition from one of the sport's most essential entities. BoxRec, which has served as the official record keeper for the sport since 2016, has removed its recognition of the WBA from its website. This unprecedented move is a response to a controversial decision by the WBA, which has reportedly scrapped fight data, layout, and fighter photos from BoxRec site to establish a new relationship with another entity. Say it ain't so. Why do you think WCS was up here holding these individuals' feet to the fire? Because they talking gibberish. They not changing anything by putting out lies. Boxing is so open-ended, you can pick and choose where you want to eat the fruit. The WBA's sudden switch comes amid their decision to bring back Fight Facts. For those of you who remember that. Fight Facts, a lesser-known competitor to BoxRec. The announcement was made during the WBA Asia Convention in Vietnam, marking a significant shift that has been in the works for months. Fight Facts, a name largely dormant in the boxing community since 2011, has quietly relaunched its social media account in January of this year, hinting at its return to relevance. The relaunch of their website on April 24th further fueled speculation about a potential landscape change in the sport of boxing. You notice a lot of these sanctioning bodies, their headquarters is not here in the U.S. It's a reason for that when it comes to everything, money, all that. But those of you that's been following boxing for as long as I have, I remember Fight Facts. And it's unbelievable how even BoxRec didn't really truly plan for this right here. Someone was going along with a day-by-day schedule, and just like boxing, it's open-ended. You know what I'm saying? You get away with it for a certain amount of time, but the people that you have relationships with or networks with when it comes to this data, it's no loyalty unless the money is right. I don't know how the arrangement is. I'm not going to sit up here and try to fabricate some story and try and attempt to convince you I know what the damn arrangement is. I don't know the arrangement between these people with BoxRec and these sanctioning bodies. But we finding out that Fight Facts that's been dormant is back on deck. And boy, did they make a change to the point where you got little grown ass men crying. And BoxRec, I can't look at WBA. Do you want to know what Mike Coppinger was responding to on X? Mike Coppinger was responding to Matt Brunch of brunchboxing.com. He said, for those who don't know why the WBA titles are no longer listed publicly on BoxRec, you can read all about it here at Brunch Boxing. We broke the story. You know what I'm saying? But Mike Coppinger coming up here, crying. He's supposed to be the leaker, right? He's supposed to be the source leaker. Source leaker. Do you read? Over. Source leaker. Weren't you supposed to be the leaker of all leakers? The info dropper? The Olympic popper? Breakdancer? News hopper? Wasn't it supposed to be Mike Coppinger? Really? Why didn't you see this coming? Y'all supposed to drop it. This is a perfect example how they're not even working together. You know what I'm saying? People mad at Dan Raphael because, all these dudes feel like they have this self-centeredness about them, to be able to get certain information. They live their life day after day trying to get information that haven't been released. They want to be the first to do it. Why? Because all the traffic is going to gravitate to them. Now we have brunchboxing.com, and no one can stop it. No one can really start talking that it was going down ahead of time and the impact that it's having on the boxing community. Because you go right here, and it's a champion that's that WBA is not going to be there. Let's keep reading. Coincidentally, right? Coincidentally, or perhaps not, on the same day Fight Facts announced its website relaunch, the WBA also announced a partnership with Turki Al-Sheikh. What? He did what? He announced a partnership with Turkey Al Sheikh. Turkey Al Sheikh is in the news again. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Here we go again with some boxing news. Turkey Al Sheikh is in the news. Turkey Al Sheikh is once again in the news. What live stream y'all gonna do to stop what he has going on? You can't. You can't do shit about it. That's why I told you to stop talking like you can. Coincidentally, or perhaps not on the same day, Fight Fact announced its website relaunch. The WBA also announced a partnership with Turkey Al Sheikh, an influential Saudi sports promoter and advisor to the Saudi royal court. This partnership, which seemed to have broader implications for the sport, may have set the stage for the WBA's attempt to redefine the landscape of boxing record keeping. To redefine the landscape of boxing record keeping. To redefine the boxing redefine the landscape of boxing record keeping. Who would have thought there would be change to the record keeping? I mean, granted, a lot of us just used to the same key tapping, enter, and information referencing, sourcing, intel. But now it seems to be a bit difficult for change, because one thing we know in this day and time, people don't like change. Just like boxing was struggling, the system of boxing was struggling. People continue to think about it as if it's this spear, and boxing was included in this spear. No, it's not even a spear. We cannot even see boxing that way, because a lot of these sanctioning bodies doing their own thing. They have an influence in boxing, but they're not in it to basically assist the fighter. The fighter, does he or she really get paid more money by holding a title? No, they just get on here doing it pro bono, trying to brag to everybody on how many titles they got. They don't get an extra stipend unless they're able to go in there and negotiate their purse when it comes time for them to have a championship fight. It sucks, boy. This is brunchboxing.com. However, the Fight Facts website's striking resemblance to BoxRec has not gone unnoticed. Critics have pointed out that the site appears to be an almost exact replica, down to the photos of lesser-known fighters. This has led to accusations of theft and concerns about the integrity of the data being presented. The controversy only deepened when it was revealed that Fight Facts might have scrapped data from BoxRec, raising questions about intellectual property and the legitimacy of WBA's actions. Ooh, it's getting dirty. Yeah, it's getting dirty, shawty. Real talk. In June, Brunch Boxing reported that the Saudi-backed Public Investment Fund, PIF, was exploring a potential buyout of BoxRec as part of a broader effort to reorganize the sport. However, with the recent developments, it now appears that Turkey Al Sheikh, through the WBA, may be attempting to replace BoxRec entirely. This move has sparked confusion and concern within the boxing community, as the rationale behind a single sanctioning body trying to control boxing history remains unclear. Don't act like it remains unclear now. Because see, they've been talking about it's too much going on in boxing with the belts and all that, period. Like we've seen this on the horizon. How high of a summit do you have to appear? You know, how high do you have to look? You know what I'm saying? How high do you have to look up on the summit, and you've seen this problem just sitting up there for years? It's just haven't been anyone yet to make a move like this. You know, the conversation has been out here so long about changing. You know what I'm saying? Redecorating, renovating. You know what I'm saying? Changing up this format of documentation, or this source gathering, these particular sites. They want to start trying to clear up, and they went to the oldest sanctioning body out there, the WBA. I'm curious to know what was the arrangement. What are the fine details? Curious to know. Some of you number wranglers out there, please do a live stream and explain to us what it took for the WBA to make this move, to jump on board with this move. I would like to know. It says, since its establishment as the sport's official record keeper, BoxRec has operated independently of any of the four major sanctioning bodies. In addition, BoxRec maintains a partnership with the Association of Boxing Commission, the ABC, the governing body of boxing in the United States, further solidifying its position as an unbiased and reliable source for boxing records. And this is where I understand where BoxRec is coming from, because the ABC is a legitimate source where you can find out a plethora of information when it comes to the sport of boxing and the rules, the regs, and how things are supposed to be run. This is the only part where I feel that BoxRec took it on the windshield. That right there. Because when it talks about unbiased and reliable, I believe brunchboxing.com and being that Turkey Al Sheik is involved with this, I do believe it's going to be some biasness, just like boxing in general. Real talk. I believe it's going to be biased just like we see all the time. Ring Magazine have its way of putting a pound for pound and all that. You know what I'm saying? BWAA is out here, having its way of doing things. All these different type of online venues. Now that we have, Fight Facts regenerating its presence in boxing, everything is about bias. If you're going to say boxing is a business, you have to understand there's people out here that can be bought. There's people out here that can be bought. They're always looking to make money. Hell, the sanctioning bodies get 3% off the fighters all the time, right? What does the fighters get for earning the titles? Bragging rights, and hopefully their next fight they can negotiate a higher purse. Despite the magnitude of the situation, neither the WBA nor BoxRec has released public statements addressing the controversy. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? They have their articles. Like I said, the site it's going to look generic to some people because you look at BoxRec is a bit more data centric, bit more clean. You know what I'm saying? The BoxRec a bit more clean, but this right here is more of a site, a website that has different areas, just like you was going to ABC. You know what I'm saying? And some of these other sites, it's more of a website. BoxRec, it just gets you where you need to be, straight to the fighter. Over here, you're gonna have to navigate just a little bit more than you would. You know what I'm saying? Any place else. You got the search over here. Some people are gonna look at it like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like it, but you'll get used to it. Just like anything else, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. A lot of people gonna complain because it's new. Of course, that's what we do. We wanna tear it all the way down before we actually give it a opportunity to see what its effectiveness is once everybody get acclimated. You know what I'm saying? It got a little, a bit, you look at the front, it's a bit different. It kind of gives you animated vibes a little bit. you know. But what it's doing is providing you with multiple sources. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the tabs, it provides you with multiple sources. They go to pound for pound list. They have Usyk number one and give you some information. I like that. You know, it's just different. You know, it's when it comes to your visual, looking at the font, the same color as the fighter's name. You know, you're just gonna have to pay attention until they clear this up. It'll be better to have, you know, some pictures like Ring Magazine, so you can kind of see who you're talking about, who is the fighter that they're mentioning. It's good to give a bit more information and details, be descriptive on the fighter. 3, they have Gervonta Davis. They give the information, you know, big fights. They have Terrence Crawford at number 4. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez at number 5. David Benavidez at number 6. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna see some biasness, and it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun for a lot of people believing and asking questions why they're not on this list. Bam Rodriguez, what he's been able to accomplish, he only comes in at number 7. Amazing. Arthur Beterbiev, you know what I'm saying? Dimitri Bivol come in at number 9. And then Junto Nakatani, number 10. And you say to yourself, already it's going to be individuals doing live streams on this pound for pound list because of how it's set up. And it may not be enough black fighters on him on this list for them. Hey, I'm telling you right off the back. I'm telling you right off the back. They busy trying to run these black fighters. They trying to run these black fighters off. But it's a very minute group. You have Tank Davis and Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? You see Usyk, you see Inoue, man. You see freaking Canelo. Bam Rodriguez, Artur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol, and Nakatani. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad. Just do a live on it and see, can your live get it changed? Because this is not going to be what you think it is. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to really elevate, for people to start respecting who they have ranked, because it's going to be some bias there. I can already see it's going to be some bias. Real talk. It's going to be some extreme bias until they clean this up. And people are going to be upset. They're going to start talking about it don't make any sense. Even though we're talking about BoxRec comparable to Fight Facts. That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Even though BoxRec has a freaking list, don't too many people talk about it. But they're gonna start to gravitate more, because brunchboxing.com ain't going nowhere. And plus, Turki Al-Sheikh is basically putting his fingertip on the forehead of the naysayers that keep on pretending like they're gonna dictate his movement in boxing. No, for a long time, people have been making money off boxing, right? So you're not gonna stop just the air. You don't know where to put up a defense when it comes to boxing. How are you gonna stop anything? It's an open-ended sport that's been transient internally to a system that really has no webmaster. It has no governing body, no president, no nothing. They have no control and authority over the entire sport. It remains non-regulated. So it's asinine to hear people complain about Turki Al-Sheikh making moves over here. It is absolutely lunacy that you will waste your oxygen complaining about somebody who's doing exactly what others have tried before him. You feel me? Others have done this before Turki Al-Sheikh. Don't make it a Saudi thing. Don't try to say he's coming over here trying to take over boxing. What? You all will put all your emphasis and energy and strength, all your sanity points into Al Heyman, who you never see. He make mistakes and y'all still rebel without an MF and cause to basically advocate for him when you don't even see him. One thing I say about Turkey Al Sheik, he's very active out here in the boxing community right now. Everywhere you turn, you see this guy. Everywhere you turn, I can only imagine what comes to pick him up. I wonder what his Uber looks like. I wonder what type of car they have him being escorted around. Real talk. I'm just curious. Turkey Al Sheik is absolutely performing duties. Some would say the same. Some would say somewhat reciprocated to what others before him has done in the past. So just because it's at a point right now where they want to place Turkey Al Sheik's moves attached to one fighter, no, that's not going to work. Like Turkey Al Sheik is everywhere. Everywhere. He's becoming an omnipresence in the sport of boxing and MMA. Just like you see Trump over there with Dana White at almost every fight card, you're going to start seeing Turkey Al Sheik drop in over there sometime. You know what I'm saying? He's going to make his presence known as much as he could, as much as he can while he's at it. He's going to become like Dana White, man. Everybody know Dana White. I ain't saying you have to like him. I'm just saying he's out and about all the time. People know who he is. Turkey Al Sheik. You all boxing, whoever you may be, you allow Turkey Al Sheik to have open access to boxing with all that money they got. But you want to talk about tactics? Oh my God, bro. Let's just take a moment and just chill, man. You want to talk about nobody reporting this ahead of time because you didn't fucking know. You want to talk about surprise, surprise, surprise. He has boots on the ground. Money talking. And bullshit walking. You have the WBA, the oldest sanctioned body, that's on board with removing itself and going over here doing business. Why the WBA? Why wasn't this reported, Carpenter? Raphael, Eidick? Y'all supposed to be the gatekeepers of information, right? Y'all supposed to be the first link to the outer world. What happened? The Matrix was glitching? Don't get on here talking about it was absurd. It's absurd that you all have pretty much gotten individuals complacent with thinking that all the information that you put out to the world is scripture. When you just like us. All you have is a position. All you have is a seniority when it comes to the media game. That's it. All you have is a seniority. They will pick and choose on who they want this information to drop to first. It all depends who your connection is. But why y'all didn't have any idea that Turkey Al Sheik was en route? And somebody didn't give you the motherfucking cowbell and the bullhorn? Big Turk is on deck. And there's nothing they can do about it. Because there's no overseer in boxing. That's why he has all the promoters working with him. How can Top Rank, Queensberry Matchroom, Golden Boy, PBC, how can all of these premier entities that has been existent in boxing for God knows when, how can he come in here and organize? How can he organize the congregation. How can he come in here and join forces? Once again, military talk. How can Turkey Al-Sheikh come in here and encourage these individuals to join forces with what he has going on? And you think coming on the YTC talking about this man and little ins and outs of what he's making and not making is competence when it comes to reporting? It's proving competence, media competence? No, it's not. It's not proving media competence. It's not respecting the barometer of your intellectual know-how to speak on something and speak on it in a way to say, I'm speaking on this with the understanding that I can't change a damn thing about it. I'm speaking on this just because it's a very interesting topic. That's what I'm speaking on. Intellectually, I have boundaries. Intellectually, I have boundaries on this topic. But I'm going to speak within my scope, within my perimeter, enough. And the rest is just going to be speculative or opinionated narratives. That's it. I'm just giving you my opinion. And once again, to all of you, opinions are not based off facts, so don't be mad. You have to understand how to control your inner self. Don't be mad at somebody giving an opinion. It's not based off facts. So facts, something that's non-factual shouldn't piss you off as if that person's talking as if it is factual information. Turkey Al-Sheikh footprint over here in the US of A is not an opinion. It's an MF fact. So what going on with BoxRec? BoxRec was never ironclad. They was never locked in and there was a bond or paperwork of loyalty that was going on. It sucks because we're used to going to a certain area. Just imagine how if we operated off this in real life, raising families and ourselves, right? What if we had to go to one gas station? What if we had to go to one gas station to get our fuel? Now, wherever that gas station was at, we had to find that gas station and go there. They put one gas station in your proximity, and that's where you had to go. That's almost like what BoxRec was. People was used to, familiar, understanding that, no, man, I don't think you right with that, man. So-and-so, no, he won that title in 2017, man. I know he fought. So it was for a vacant title, man. Go to BoxRec. I know he fought for the vacant WB. I could have sworn to go to BoxRec. Man, ain't shit on here. Oh, god damn, man. Hey, go to that other, what's that other site? Anybody know that new site? Brunch Boxing, Fight Facts? Yeah, go over there. Hey, it was complacency, y'all. I'm not saying now we paying the price, but I'm just saying, what if, imagine we had to go to one gas station within your proximity or where you're residing. So that's just what we've been doing the entire time with BoxRec. I mean, BoxRec is pretty much in your cookies on your computer. You can just type in a boxer's name and it takes the rest for you and you just hit enter. Bam! There it is. You know, you be on a freaking panel full of people and you're going up here, you know, checking certain information and it was easy to access, right? But now not so much because the extraction of information, you say to yourself, why does it have to be removed? Because the sanctioned bodies do what the fuck they want to do. The sanctioned body is a just a Airbnb to boxing. That's all. Sanctioned bodies is just an Airbnb, bro. You know, we do Airbnbs, we stay in them temporarily and then get the fuck on. That's how boxers do. Boxers are attached to a sanctioning body temporarily. As long as they have the titles, whether it's freaking they lose them or they vacate them, they're only there for a little bit. But what do you have to do for Airbnb? You have to pay a motherfucking price. And that's what you do with them sanctioning bodies. You pay that 3%, shawty. So you should be worried about a system, a microcosm, a sublet that has been in existence as an attachment to be able to register or record boxing information. And being that boxing doesn't have a controlling authority, it is non regulated, it allows situations like this to be breached. It allows for this to be breached, y'all. If boxing was pretty much distorted, it had its issues going on prior to Turkey Ali Sheik's presence over here. We was on here complaining. It's in their catalogs, man. I can do a whole look. I have enough information to do a live stream for freaking a week straight, easy, 2 to 3 lives a day of information on channels that was talking so much, complaining about this with boxing, complaining about that with boxing. But I'm not trying to get motherfuckers, putting up anonymous complaints to the YTC, to YT about so and so using them. I'm just saying, it was so much to complain about with boxing that now you have somebody in here that's making changes that's outside the normality of what we're used to as fight fans, and people don't like it. And look what they do. They go out here and grab hold of box rec for the WBA sanctioning body. If that ain't slapping you in your motherfucking head and saying, I'm going to get you to pay attention, I'm going to start reconstructing this shit the way I want, and you ain't going to like how I reorganize it either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's not get it twisted. When I showed you the pound for pound list, it's not like a lot of people agree with BoxRec's pound for pound, Ring Magazine pound for pound, Brunch Box pound for pound, BWAA pound for pound. So let's just discard that. Slide that off to the recycle bin. Now we just have something that takes a little small piece. These guys play by different rules, man. Seriously, they play by different rules. Who would have thought that they would go for the little guy? The little big guy, so to speak. BoxRec was the little big guy because we absolutely access BoxRecs damn near every freaking minute of the day. Somebody's accessing BoxRec for info. Now a portion of BoxRec's register will be considered incomplete because the WBA has been removed. I would surely like to see what the paperwork looked like. I would love to see what the paperwork and what details and what persuaded the president to go over here and remove itself from BoxRec. Do I believe he's able to do it, perform this same action with the WBC? I don't know. Because Mauricio Suleiman, that guy has did some questionable shit forever and a day. And people just sit up here and they will co-sign it or they'll complain about it. So once again, don't feel no type of way about the WBA. Real. Don't feel no type of way. Don't feel no type of way. Shout out to the first in the building. IOTBA Boxing Talk is on deck. What's good with it, IO? How you feeling, man? Definitely check out, IOTBA Boxing Talk and the Spit Bucket Podcast in the building. Shout out to Toby Bartlett on deck, man. It's better to be global than just local. Salute WCS, the hottest chat on the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. No doubt. Mr. International on deck. Jay is in the building. What's good with it, Jay? That damn turkey strikes again. Yeah, I don't, at this point in time, I don't find him to be striking anything there, Jay. Real talk. I think he's on deck. He's here. His presence is known. He's freaking active. What's that A word? Appearance. His appearance is official. He ain't shaping up his beard. He ain't coming here with no Beijing. God damn it. Turkey is looking like he's roaming around this mud without a care and unbothered. And yes, he's probably listening to what everybody has to say about the changes he's making. You cannot have a problem except outside of us following a simulation all the time when it comes to boxing. You can't be mad at what he's doing, and we've been simulating all this time over and over again, doing the same shit, boxing talk, information. We still have primary sources to retrieve information. It's just BoxRec seems so familiar, so easily accessible. Now Turkey Al-Sheikh is trying to reorganize, you know what I'm saying, reconstruct. And I know when you take people out of their daily routine, their BDR, as we used to call it in the Corps, basic daily routine, okay, just a little gem for y'all, BDR. You take them away from the BDR, they get upset, y'all. Because our minds are programmed to type in BoxRec a lot of time and look up certain information, research. Now Turkey Al-Sheikh is shook up. He didn't even go for all sanctioning bodies. He just went for 1/4 of the sanctioning bodies. Because he can. You know what I'm saying? Turkey Al-Sheikh can. Mike is in the building. I see you. What's good, man? Arnold Brown on deck. Salute to you, brother. Bruce Gas Boxing Jackson Moore in the building. Salute to you, Bruce. I see you, OG. What's popping? The time it took for them to wipe out all WBA mentions from their site is mind-blowing. Yeah, man. Yeah. I would like to know, being an IT guy back in the day, and the time it took for us to basically troubleshoot a server, a database, a network in general, you know, going out to the field, setting up comm, you know, on the green and red side, classified and non-classified. I'm just curious to who actually did you know, how they was able to go about removing this information. Is it a mass command? You know what I'm saying? Can they do, is it something like a find? You know what I'm saying? To extract all the WBA information. It had to be something, because that's a lot of information. Look, that's a lot of information from current to previous champions that depicts the WBA championship. And to basically expunge that information, like Bruce just mentioned, it's unbelievable. Their database had to be up to date with the commands, or how would I put it? Their configurations on how to do the removal process. That's a lot of text. I would definitely like to see the data, you know, the data process on how they went about it. What was their procedure? What were their programming methods for erasing that information in such that amount of time? It's crazy. It's very, very crazy. For some people, I mean, you have no idea what it is to basically maintain a database of info, to update, to have those servers on deck and all that shit, man. It's crazy. I'm waiting for PBC to kiss the ring, so the hating can stop. PBC is already working with Turkey Al-Sheikh. You don't know? You haven't seen his fighters over there? In order for his fighters to work, have fights in Riyadh season, they had to get permission from their advisor. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what I know for a fact is certain fighters that was fighting over there, that people thought that was just no longer attached to Al Haymon. Okay, so You may not be attached to a point where you just fighting on PBC, but he gives you the green light to say, yeah, go fight on Riyadh season, but here's the contractual attachment. I'm still going to get my percentage, though, but you can go over there and fight. You can go over there and fight. And every fight you have over there, all the way to your contract ends, I'm going to get a percentage. But you can go over there and fight, though. It allows the fighter to still make a living and earn a source of revenue, right? That's fair, right? It's better than them just being on the shelf over there at PBC and they're not able to make the fights. So you see a lot of these fighters that's over there that's fighting in Riyadh, and people believe they've just been consummated from their contract. That's not true. That is not true at all. Their contract haven't been consummated all the way out. Now, I'm not talking about everybody. Like I said, I don't have this paperwork to present. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the financial statements and all that, what they actually pay out Al Haymon. I'm talking about the grantor to the grantee. The grantor has granted authorization to the grantee to fight over there. But that pay, if your contract is not up, you're still going to have to pay the advisor fee to Al Haymon, and you take the rest. But you do have access to go over there and make a paycheck with Turki Al-Sheikh. So they have kissed the ring, Key. You know what I'm saying? They have kissed the ring. They had no other choice, bro. Look, hey, Key, we know it's summertime, but it get cold when it come to them pockets. Ooh, when it come to them pockets, you see everybody out there eating, and you goddamn reach down. Damn, I just want a cold drink. And you reach down to your shit, it ain't nothing but lint. You gotta, Turki Al-Sheikh, Your Excellency, Your Royalty, please, can you allow me into the circle? I've come to my senses. Please sign me up. I am hungry. I'm losing thousands upon thousands. Please. Looking at the dance from the outside is not what I like. I need to be on the floor. Okay, it's good you came around, my friend. Now, I will have my people contact you, and they will send you some documentation. I want you to docu-sign them and send them back within 3 hours. Are we clear? Yes, Your Excellency. Yes, Your Excellency. Yes, Your Royalty, Excellency. Yeah. Thank you. Grand Poobah appreciates the permission, Your Royalty. Please, thank you. You know what I'm saying? No. The ring has already been kissed. You know what I'm saying? The ring has already been puckered upon, real talk, slobbered, tongue kissed, all that. Because it's hard out here, goddammit, when everybody else is signing up and you're on the outside trying to say, no, we still gonna eat in this bitch. Don't worry about it. We still gonna eat in this bitch. That's what we do. No, don't give in. Don't do it. And then slowly but surely, you see the fighters all showing up on Riyadh season cards. They go in the match room. You know what I'm saying? All this, man, we stick by. Al Haymon, man, he's making the best fight. He's paying all the fighters. Y'all remember when Martel was out here spewing that agitprop? Trying to say the top rank only charging this much and only putting on this many pay-per-view fights. I never heard from you in 2024 there, Martel. You haven't gave us an update on the braggadociousness that was going on with PBC and everything, with all these pay-per-views they was putting on. I haven't quite heard an update on that. When Rick Glaser was over there, hey, are you fucking stupid? Oh my God, that is one of my more classic moments, man. Shout out to the real Rick Glaser. Boy, he was sitting up there trying to show and teach and speak respectfully. But goddamn it, when it comes to some people, they're unwilling to listen. It turns into a comedy show, goddamn it. That's why the Grand Poobah is in the mix. You can't stop something that's bigger than you and you struggling. I mean, I could see if you had Prime behind you and they was giving you an annual budget of 2.5 million. I mean 250 million or something like that annual budget. You know what I'm saying? Giving you 250 million annual budget to go out here and make some fights. But no, the same people that was up here bitching and complaining, you know what I'm saying, about what Top Rank was doing and hyping up, you know, the PBC. I get it. I get it, man. I get it. You just couldn't let go and they had you by the neck. Shout out to my guy, the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience. Team Tucker official in the building. I heard you on your live talking about you heading out to Canada, man. Shout out to, you know, Team Tucker becoming international. International. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be global than just local. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that trip, man. I put a comment in your chat. If you have room in your suitcase, please, if you see a baddie, you know what I'm saying, Coke bottle shaped that, please tell her it is traction over here in the US of A. I mean, she can cross over. You know, Canada, you know, it's easy. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back in your suitcase. Please, hands off. You know what I'm saying? Hands off. I don't want no Kenny Porter. If I ask you to bring the female over here, that don't mean test her out first, there, Shaw News. Hey, dog. Hey, man, I'm just saying. Shit has played out online before, dog. People have asked certain men to watch their girl that really wasn't their girl to begin with, dog. But anyway, back to the business, though. Back to the business, man. That shit was hilarious, man. But big shout out to Team Tucker this weekend, man. Real talk. Looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to that. I remember when Golden Boy and Daniel Cunningham were being sued for illegally signing JoJo Diaz. Boxrec were being sued for adjusting records for MTK and Cunningham. Don't know whatever happened. It's a lot that was going on. Good point, Toby. You know, bringing up that info. Good point. Yeah, there's a lot that was going on, but they quickly dropped off. You know, it was definitely a Fed case, really, with them trying to find Cunningham, who's supposed to be residing in Dubai or whatever. But yeah, you know, Crawford was mixed up in that too. Talking about he was associated with Daniel Cunningham. I'm talking about the online. But what you just mentioned, I totally remember when that information was being talked about and everything. And BoxRec did adjust Vasily Lomachenko record at one time, didn't he? Or ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I say about the system. There's so many people whom are have access to these branches, man, that's able to eat the fruit. Like this tree, this tree of life that operates off the freaking hydration of boxing. Man, there's so many people that's picking fruit off of it. You don't even know who's eating and where they at and what their contribution to the damn system is for. Until you have somebody like Turkey Al-Sheikh who has figured out, you know what I'm saying, what's actually on the tree. And he say, I don't need to pick the fruit off the tree. You know, Turkey Al-Sheikh's mindset is, I'm bigger than the tree. I got resources to say I'm bigger than the tree. So I'm going to come over here and make some adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Turkey Al-Sheikh is plowing or sowing his own. He's cultivating his own freaking garden right now. That's what he's doing. Turkey Al-Sheikh is cultivating and sowing his own freaking crop. Is he not? He is. He's going to be moving fights. There's going to be a lot of fights over there in Saudi. fighters gonna get a chance to travel over there and see what it's like and shit like that. One thing about it, I haven't heard any fighters complaining about going over there to Saudi. I haven't, bro. I haven't heard anyone complaining. I haven't really heard anyone talk about the living conditions over there. Where did they stay? What did they eat? You know what I'm saying? I've heard nothing but good things. Like, I haven't heard anything bad. But man, I'm gonna drop the link for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a little time. You feel me? I just want to hear what people have to say about Big Turk. Big Turk is over here kicking up dust, man. And he telling people, this what I do. In my country, I kick up dust. Usually if you see dust coming over the hill, it's a problem. It's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And these channels be having me battling every day. I be killing PBC. Hey, man, this is going to be around for a while. You know why, Conquest? Because they can't stop the move. They cannot stop the forward progress of this guy. Shit we was complaining about for years. Why all of a sudden they have a problem with what he's doing, and they're trying to zoom it in, bottleneck it into one person. Look, let me tell you the dumbest shit I've heard in 2024 and 23 and 22 and 21. And I can't say the pandemic because there was a lot of shit going on. The dumbest shit I've heard is that Turk lost 10 million. That's the dumbest, the most stupid. To say that somebody as wealthy as this guy, you're going to speak on him losing money on a fight. You are not intelligent. Just the mere fact that you chose to talk about this dude losing some millions, which promoters do all the time. The Zone, DAZN, a multi-sport streaming have lost billions. But they're over here talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh losing. Let's level it off. Let's round it up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's level it up. Let's pull out our calculators and level this up to a smooth $10 million. I'm telling you, that shit is beyond. Having questionable sanity. It's beyond that, y'all. You're talking about somebody losing 10 million and you want to base it on an entire fight card of one fighter. I hope to never hear that shit again. The reason why I'm saying I hope to never hear any other channel speak on the Turk Al-Sheikh losing money, because I did a live stream when he was having these cards over in Riyadh. You can check my catalog. And I said that no one is talking about pay-per-view numbers. I said the language over here has changed because these cars over in Riyadh, over in Saudi, and nobody's talking about pay-per-view numbers, and the arena's not even full. Nobody's talking about what numbers. Nobody's talking about the gate. They're just looking at the fight. They're just looking at the fight. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about cognitive, right? We're talking about a critical period of learning growing up. When we get to a certain point where we can identify hot from cold, dumb, dumber, and stupid, we can identify what is worse out of those three. Good, gooder, goodest. We can understand. Fuck the spelling. We can understand the separation between those three, right? We can understand that shit. But time Turkey Al-Sheikh comes over here to the U.S. and bless us with a fight card, the shit is packed out. You have petty, immature voices that's out here talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh lost money on it. I mean, certain names I can use, within the decorum of being polite and respectful. But that's some hoe ass shit. I'm be honest. That is some hoe ass tendencies to speak on another man's pocket when he's doing something that these individuals that's talking this talk could never do. And for them to speak on it in such a manner of disrespect, being disrespectful, they're basically devaluing how what's the word I want to use? How much skin you got to have in the game to do what he's doing. The money that you have to have. The site fee, all them site fee, them insurance to the fighters, reservations, you have to be able, I don't care to the lowest promoter, you have to go in there with the understanding like, okay, I hope to make this money. And the funny part about this, right? They act like every promoter sells every ticket. But yet they used to get on here and talk about Eddie Hearns, how it was proven that he would buy out tickets and buy them out and then give them to third parties. You know what I'm saying? They'll be able to sell them however they sell them. But, people used to talk about that rumor, how he would buy out tickets and he would basically filter them out to third parties and they can sell them what they want to sell them and all this other shit. Same thing goes on over here in the U.S., man. Every ticket bought is not from a consumer. The promoter has tickets that they comp out to certain individuals. Yes, Turkey Al-Sheikh comped out some tickets to fill the house and put them celebrities in the seats. Isn't that what we used to seeing back in the day? Not so much today, but we saw it in LA. When is the last time you seen that much star power on deck in front of the camera lens? Not just any camera lens. They had them sitting in front of where the main camera would be. So when you see that view, you know what I'm saying, that lens the moment, go through the ropes, you seeing those specific, celebrities there. You're not seeing Charlo standing over there looking through the ropes like, damn, that nigga getting his ass beat. You know what I'm saying? It was celebrity status there. Just like in Saudi. You had Ronaldo up front. You had celebs sitting up there with the Sheik. And we have people up here talking about him losing $10 million. Man, come on, bro. I can't respect that bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect that right there, man. It's a lot of shit I done heard on this YTC that's opinionated, and I get it. So that's why I gauge how much pressure I choose to put on the topic. But when I'm hearing Americans speak on Turkey Al-Sheikh's pockets, and they're trying to find something wrong with the area where they cannot produce one financial statement. Oh my God, stop it, bro. Shout out to Conquest, man, with the $2 super chat. Lighting up the tree of life for WCS. Appreciate your support, brother, as always. One love to you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. I had to get at Pro Box today, too. The people who are behind Turkey Al-Sheikh print their own money, and their country floats on a lake of oil. You sound like a poet, goddammit. Toby over here sounding like a motherfucking poet. He said their country floats on a lake of oil. And you know what? Hey, what would if you pulled up, look, if you and I pulled up, Toby, right, to a lake of oil, and Turk said, listen, I want you to pay attention to me. And he dumps $10 million into the lake of oil. He said, my friend, any of it that you can get, if you can survive, you can have it. But the money's there. Go find it. It's yours. We're not jumping in the motherfucker because we're dead. Hey, that's a very severe example. He dumps 10 million in a lake of oil and say, my friend, if you can go in there, whatever you can grab, it's yours, my friend. Now, I'm going to tell you right here, I say where the money's at is about 8 feet deep. Okay? Besides that, you're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. But if whatever money you find, it's yours. Are you ready? You're not going to live, you know what I'm saying, talking about something that you can't change. You're not going to throw an iodine tablet in that damn lake of oil to say, okay, that area right there seemed like I'll be good. I'm going to try to breathe this shit in, nigga. I'm going to try a different breathing system. No, you're dead. You're done. Stop talking about something that's impossible to change and don't come out here making us believe this shit. What you seeing with BoxRec with the WBA is only the beginning, y'all. It's only the beginning of the changes that's going to be made over here because he has already attached himself to all of what we've been watching and accustomed to over here in the U.S. They are affiliated with Riyadh Season. Their fighters are getting fights. I don't know what the numbers game is like, but in order for us to speak on any type of finances coming from the sheik, times has changed. We're not just dealing with a promotion over here. I'm not saying they're inoperable. You know what I'm saying? They're still up and running. But what I'm saying to you is the change that you see right here, you act like it's something different than what we're used to. I mean, we keep on being disappointed by fighters being robbed and for this and for that purposes and this, that, and the other. Yeah. Hey, real talk. You better lace up those boots a little bit tighter. That's all I'm saying. Lace up the boots a little bit tighter. You know what I'm saying? Turkey ain't worried about no $10 million. Man, come on, bro. It's just the fact that people getting on here spreading freaking information. And now I understand clickbaiting. I don't get as upbeat about clickbaiting because it's just you shake your head too, like, man, they you know, them individuals willing to just put anything out there, right? They willing to just put anything out there. But when it comes to integrity, and you're trying to continue to hate on one fighter, you're doing this in real life. This is who you are in person. There's no one fighter I hate. I don't hate Tyson Fury. I met him in life. You know what I'm saying? I met his trainer in life. You know what I'm saying? I had a good conversation with Sugar Hill, man. Down here in the A. I did. I probably ain't never told anybody this, but I had a conversation with Sugar Hill, and you know, I told him, I said I thought it was wrong for someone who have complex issues to talk to you the way you did, the way they did. You know, somebody at one point they thought they wanted him to die in a car fire. This is a individual that doesn't have any guidance, didn't have a father that was damn slapping him upside the head and teaching him how to be a man. And I said, I just thought it was disrespectful looking at that, hearing that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in boxing, and I thought he handled it pretty well, you know, when that moment took place. But anyway, I don't hate any fighter. You know, one that I may not like as a person more so than anybody is Chris Colbert. He got a very bad attitude. You know what I'm saying? But I don't hate any fighter that I'm not personally connected to. Just because, and look, you will hate somebody on here first than you would a fighter. because you may have interaction with people on here more than you do with the fighters, because not everybody over here attend fights or speak the fighters behind the scenes or their managers or teams and stuff like that. So they you might look at it differently. I look at it differently. People on the YTC, they tend to just venture off into areas that's non-boxing concerning, but to question Turkey Al Sheik, that is a culture that we're not used to. I'm not used to his lifestyle. I don't even know if this man even gets up and fixes his own food in the last 5 to 10 years. I don't know what his lifestyle is. And look, he complained about the food over here, just like I complained about the food in Japan when I first got over there. I mean, I'm coming from the city. Everybody say, hey, man, you got to go out in town, man. Get some yakisoba, get some taco rice. Taco rice? What the fuck? Why would I eat taco rice? Man, God damn it, that was one of the best dishes. It was times when I rolled back from up north on the bike. I stopped to this place called My House. Taco rice, please. They had this sauce that, oh my God. It's amazing because I never found taco rice. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. He came over here talking about food and the culture, just like I did when I went to South Korea. When I was in Thailand, man. Different food. I can only imagine what type of food they're preparing, for royalty. They're not getting any freaking fruit from the local motherfucking farmers market. Hey man, this is Hasim. He went to the farmers market and picked up those kiwis and grapes and oranges that I asked for. Come on, bro. What you talking about? Both Matchroom and Queensberry used to sell bulk tickets to resale companies. Here in the UK, those companies even use to sponsor their fight cards too. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Eddie used to then purchase those tickets, man. And it's well documented out here, and people knew that. Good point made, Toby. You know what I'm saying? People knew that, right? And some of the same people that's up here complaining about Turkey Al Sheik losing money, they have spoken on that before. A lot of us know how that process worked. And that's going to lead me to my next point, right? Let's talk about it. Revenue streams. Boxing generates income through various brands, including ticket sales, pay-per-view, event sponsorships, merchandise. Major fights can bring in millions of dollars, especially while high-profile boxers are involved. This is just common text language, just like Toby just mentioned about sponsorship, revenue streams. It used to be much larger, when it comes to the influence of pay-per-view and stuff. That's why you always hear people talk about Floyd Mayweather and all the names that he sit at the top. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, promoters and managers. Promoters like Top Rank and Matchroom Boxing play a crucial role in organizing fights and marketing boxers. Managers handles the career of boxers, negotiating contracts and ensuring their fighters get the best opportunities. What I'm speaking in context, they're not even, it's not even 1% of the people that talk on a regular daily basis on this boxing shit that they're involved in here and as a promoter or manager. That's why I commend, Shaw News, somebody I've known for several years now, in elevating his game to become a boxing manager in 2 regions already. Super happy for the brother's progress, man, and his advancement in this game. There's others that's out here. I mean, I'm not taking back to say that they're not managers. There may not, you have people who claim to be coaches, managers, but they don't have no receipts. And that's what I'm standing on. If you want to talk money with Turk Al Sheik, you want to talk about promoters and managers, produce the documentations to prove Can we go on BoxRec or any other place, brunchboxing.com? Can we go over there and pull you up? If you don't put a couple of years in as a manager and see what fighters you have. Number 3, broadcasting rights. Television network and streaming services pay substantial amounts for the rights to broadcast major boxing events. This can be a significant source of revenue for both the fighters and promoters. Once again, they're talking about Turki Al Sheikh's $10 million. But what about all the paperwork, the financial statements that deal with broadcasting rights? All the details to put on the show that we were seeing over there in Riyadh season. They're putting on a full-blown boxing event / concert. And you're going to tell me you wouldn't be watching it? I'm going to tell you this right here, because I know I went to the fight. I covered Triller. Triller dipped in for a little bit and threw some fights. And yes, I was definitely at the Triller event that was down here in the ATL when they threw a concert. They had Doja Cat. They had who else did they have? And what's the other cat that they had that I've never seen perform before? Hold up. They had so many artists. They had the West Coast Connection. Cuban then was down here. They had Justin Bieber. Let me tell you about Justin Bieber, right? People can laugh all they want, right? When it comes to concerts and stuff that's just going on, down here and Turkey is putting on. But Triller kind of gave me an understanding like, okay, with a boxing card and a concert, right? And they had closed off one side of the stadium or the arena for this. And I saw Justin Bieber perform for the first time at a boxing match. And it was a hell of a performance. I'm not going to lie. It was a hell of a performance, man. It was a hell of a performance. And I say, damn, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And it didn't take away from what I seen with the boxing match with Triller. It didn't take away from it. It was a break. Boom. They had the songs and everything. And then they went back to the boxing. It didn't take away from it. But I was entertained. You know what I'm saying? I still have the pictures from it and everything. It was a moment. You know what I'm saying? So if Turki Al Sheikh is putting on, having these artists come, right? When I hear people complaining about a legend like M, I'm not a big hip hop enthusiast like that. But when they up here talking about nobody wants to see him perform and this, that, and that, maybe so, because everybody have their own shit. I'm not a big M fan, to be honest. But I do think he's one of the most unique lyricists ever, right? But peep this out. When Crawford walked out with him, people was talking about it was legendary, and M didn't even sing the whole song because he didn't want to take away from Crawford's moment. That's respect. But when he's brought back to LA, these motherfuckers on here whining about it. Anyway, number 3. I told you what number 3 was. Number 4, sponsorships and endorsements. Boxers often have sponsorship deals with brands, which can be very lucrative. These deals can include everything from sportswear to energy drinks. Now, that's one area where I would say, if these individuals want to make changes in these fighters' life, try to reach out to certain people to get them sponsorships deal. Oh, my bad. You don't have the authority to go up here and get them sponsorships deal. So the managers, once again, the people that's in place, they have to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Look, the stage that Turki Al Sheikh is providing for these fighters Just like I always say to Toby, it's better to be global than just local. They're getting maximum exposure in a whole nother arena. So if you think he's not trying to manipulate the streaming service to make sure his fights are broadcasted over a larger area, you're crazy if you're underestimating this guy. This guy is not coming to play around, Turkey Al Sheikh. He's coming to take over. And it's hard to stop someone from taking over if they don't need you to make the progress happen. If they don't need your permission, because boxing is non-regulated and open-ended, if they don't need your permission to say, hey, can I do this? Do you mind if I'm doing? The only thing they have to ask permission about is like, okay, let's talk about, putting some of your fighters on the card. This is what I'm paying them and this, that, and hey, either way, they're going to get paid. Because that particular promoter that's allowing permission for Turkey Al Sheikh, that's less work that they have to put in for that particular fight card. Yeah, it's a bit different, as far as the control factor and everything. But like I said before, they're still getting a portion of allowing the Turk to host some of the fighters that signed to that promotion. You're gonna find out the big dogs. You're gonna find out who's been inside the fence and who's been outside the yard, because he's here to take over and make his damn presence known. And how are you gonna stop somebody that has the $1 million motherfucking word to make business as big as it is in boxing? That is motherfucking money. Money. People are being held accountable for talking this. Hey, boxing is a business. Boxing is a business. Well, guess what? When you get somebody that's moving and aggressing like Turkey Al Sheikh, and he doesn't have to ask permission for budget, he's not asking no network for permission to budget. He's just speaking with them on how much they need to stream those fights. It's a partnership. And boy, how lucky is it to be a partnership with Riyadh season? Let me address something else that's been put out there, right? There's questions on how long Turkey Al Sheikh is going to be in boxing. Let me tell you how a tornado or a hurricane works. And even typhoons, you know what I'm saying? When you're in Japan in the Far East, over that water, because it takes an extended amount of hours to fly over all that water and get and touch down in Japan, right? Every year they have typhoon season, just like summer. And them typhoons roll up there off that water, because you're in the midst of water now. Them motherfuckers roll up there, boy, them winds are crazy, right? So when you see Mother Nature taking place over here in the US of A, man, you see the tornadoes, you see the floods, you see the hurricanes, you see all this shit ripping roofs off. People have to understand that when they speak of Turkey Al Sheikh and what he's doing now and how long he's going to be around the sport, let's just say he does the fade out a little bit. You think there's not someone to take his place? Look at the nest that he's from, though. Why would your conversation be how long is Turkey Al Sheikh going to be in the business of boxing when boxing has been operating off a fragmented or a engine that has been missing a cylinder? It's been goddamn operating off two flats and a donut. You know what I'm saying? It has been operating intermittently. You know what I'm saying? On and off, on and off. You know what I'm saying? It has had to be towed up some of the hills in boxing just to get to the top and put it in neutral and roll down to the other side. It's had his share of struggles. So why are people worrying about how long Turkey Al Sheikh is going to be in boxing if what he's applying to boxing is truly effective and productive? And then let's just say he does digress from boxing. Who's going to fix what he has already made changes to? What promoters are going to go up here and spend their money to change what he has already done. Who? Please, can y'all send me a soft copy? Documentation. You know what I'm saying? Documentation. It really beats conversation. So if Turkey Al Sheik is up here making all these changes and he selects to digress for a little bit, who's gonna be affected? Who's gonna change it? Or what y'all gonna say? Oh, CWBA, we told you. Who's gonna change? Give it 6 solid months. I'm just saying 6 because we live in a numeric simulation. Each and every day we awaken based off time. Give it 6 months. You know, people love 6 when it comes to halving something. You know what I'm saying? Half of 12 is 6, right? So unless you put, 3 6s together, okay, people don't have a problem with it. But when you say 1 6 and you compare it to half of 12, which consists of a whole calendar year, people look at it like, okay, I got it. I'll give you that. Give us 6 solid months of Turkey Al Sheik, interaction in boxing, the changes that he's making, the progress, and then let's talk. Because right now, in such a short window, he's already been able to receive commitment from all these promoters to do business with him. So they have to be some skin in the MFing game for them to be on board to work with a foreign entity, yo. You're working with a foreign entity that doesn't have the amount of experience as the big dogs that's been over here participating in boxing for decades. Now we have a foreign entity with deep liquid reservoirs, not wells. Like Toby say, lakes. And the promoter's like, yeah, we on board. We got to make this money, right? Oh. Can't wait to make this money, right? Yeah, they can't wait to make that money, y'all. Stop talking about boxing as a business and then act like it's a virus when you actually seeing it take place right in front of you. Oh, shit, I'm not used to this. Somebody give me a mask. Oh, man, this is just toxic. No, boxing has always been a business, and you have a foreign entity over here doing business in boxing. Why? Because there's nobody that's the controlling authority to prevent him from doing business in boxing. And one primary factor that benefits this foreign entity is that he has that moolah. He has that currency. Ooh, he has that dinero. Mucho dinero. He has the reservoir with that monetary liquid. That shit transfers over differently. Not so much over here in the U.S., man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going into all the politics of how we pay taxes on all that shit and how motherfuckers are broke, homeless, and all this other stuff that goes on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's tough. But at the end of the day, you chose and selected to support a system that hosts a sport, and the system has failed to evolve over time. It has failed to be regulated with hosting a sport called boxing. So therefore, it's open doors. It's open Riyadh season to someone coming over here playing ball as we see it. That's facts, man. You can't really fade it at all, man. Then Riyadh season have a sponsorship deal with WBC too. Maybe they still switch too. Now, and when you talk about sponsorship deal and someone actually leaving BoxRec, I don't want to confuse the two because I really didn't bring up, the sponsorships with freaking the sanctioning bodies. Once again, great angle. You know what I'm saying, there, Toby? I didn't really speak on the sponsors, I mean the sanctioning bodies, because with the sanctioning bodies, you really never know what they're doing. Like the only thing I mentioned about the sanctioning bodies was where are their headquarters at. A lot of these headquarters are not um anchored in the US. You know what I'm saying? And they do their own thing. And the reason why they're not anchored in the US is to allow them to do the things they're doing. For real. They're smart. Very, very smart. Shout out to the boxing queen, Jessica, in the building. I see you. They're very smart. How much do you think just the legal cost would be for a fight card like Crawford versus Madrimov would be? 10 million lost for an event like that would be nothing, in my opinion. I don't know. Like when it gets into the money, there's so many moving pieces to make the fight card work. We're not even talking about the individuals who's setting up the arena, who's setting up the ring. The ones who's setting up the network, all the IT guys who's setting up the communication, who has to be there to make sure comm is good. You know what I'm saying? All the information that goes into the database for the ticket sales with all these third parties for people to be able to purchase. You know what I'm saying? All the people that's involved arriving at the fight that's on the tab of the Riyadh season. You know what I'm saying? Flight, room and board, food. It's so much to deal with, bro. There's anybody that will voice concern about them losing 10 million. It's almost like child's play, real talk. It's like child's play. It's like, going over one of your friend's house and you walk in there and you see them sucking on a pacifier. And then you're like, dude, what the fuck wrong with you? Oh, I just remember, mom used to shove this in my mouth when I was crying a lot and I was hungry. It just brought back memories. I just thought I would suck on it for a little bit because I was going through some shit with goddamn turkey a la chic. It kind of calms me down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I never got rid of it either. I just threw it in my shoebox and put it up underneath my bed. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then, you know what I'm saying, the maw of darkness, I lay down, I relax, and I get my passy. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, I couldn't tell you why people would be concerned about a measly 10 million. There's millionaires that'll laugh in your face at $10 million. They would say, hey, I lost that at the casino. You did? Oh, man, I wouldn't even know what to do if I lost that. Well, first of all, you have to make it. Have you ever earned 10 million? No, I'm just thinking, okay, then we're on, bro, stop it. You haven't made 10 million plus, so you wouldn't know what it's like to lose something and not care. There's people out there that laugh at 10 million being gone, knowing that they're going to make it back. And this is one thing I want to lay out there. You know what I'm saying? I want to paraglide this shit. Understand one thing. If you don't know or you're unable to provide factual evidence as to all the resources that Turki Al-Sheikh and his people are making money off of, please don't speak strictly on boxing as if that is the only business venture or entrepreneurship that he has going on in life, bro. He has so much. I can only imagine the businesses, even in Saudi, and everybody he's dealing with, all the rich people that he's dealing with. 10 million is almost like a dime or $10 to these cats. We have to have better integrity. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. We cannot come over here grabbing a motherfucking wheelbarrow, knowing that the hill is steep, But yet you wanna put steel packet high shit breaching the top of the wheelbarrow and say we'll be all right, don't worry about it. Man, this hill's steep, man. Real talk. One of them motherfuckers come out that wheelbarrow, we dead. We'll be all right, man. Just grab the other handle, man. Help me out. You're fighting an uphill battle, attempting to guess how many sources of revenue that Turkey Al-Sheikh deals with on a regular basis. Now, him and his people, that is generating revenue for them, instead of basically being closed-minded to think that boxing is his only venture in life. I mean, it's just insane, bro, that we even be talked about on this shit. For real, man. I just want to goddamn give out free Ritalin and, you know, Anadrol. For real, I just want to give out some prescriptions, write some prescriptions myself and give them out because people need some shit, bro, when it comes to this boxing talk. I just want to give them some complimentary freaking black label freaking yak, some cognac or something. Sip on that motherfucker. Relax. Pop a perk. How pissed would these people be if Turkey Al-Sheikh loved MMA or athletics like he loved boxing? They'd be begging, asking why we not got someone like Turk. I mean, they're pretty much asking that right now. Because he's pretty much, man, look, when we go to war, what do they always talk about? They will always speak on who's being funded by who, right? And you might hear the U.S., political figures. They may talk about, if you want us to do this and this for you, then why are you all funding this right here? Because that defeats the purpose of us helping you out, and you're helping someone out that we don't support. So we have to clean this up first, or else we're going to cut off some of your trading. We're going to cut off a lot of what you depend on. When them cargoes and them cargoes are coming up here, we're going to cut that off. Or we're gonna increase your taxes and shit. And, everything has a freaking a waterway to it. Everything has like a point of contact. Everything has a network. Turkey Al-Sheikh has the money. And then they get over here talking about it's not actually him that's doing. Of course he has a team. Of course. Of course he has a team. He's not doing this shit on his own. But just think about what they ain't talk about too, Toby. Have they even, what you said, they'll be begging and asking why we not got someone like Turkey, right? Think about this. Why they're not asking why a promotion has never put up a promo like we've been seeing over there, what Turkey Al-Sheikh has been putting on. Why haven't we seen a promo like that in the USA detailing the main eventers? Who's putting this together? How much did that cost? That shit was hot. I have heard people, oh, we never had nothing like that. Okay. Be receptive to change then. Because how much did that promo cost to make? That's what you should be asking yourself. Because Madrimov and Crawford was in that. What about when the heavyweights was on deck? Who the F made that promo? How much did that cost? Because that shit was bomb, as we used to call it. That shit was hot. We ain't never seen no goddamn promo of somebody put freaking boxers. What Crawford said, he had to spend 15 hours before he go in there and beat up Madrimov? Are y'all asking how much it cost for Crawford and Madrimov and everybody that played a role in that promo? Come on, that was a mini movie. That was a trailer, dog. How much did that price tag cost? We need to stop it, bro. Like I said, I don't like telling grown people to stop something. That's like patting them on the hand and telling them to stop when they already know what they're doing is extremely biased and wrong. You put out too much bad information after a while, the way people look at you, it seems like you disfigured. They start looking at you like you have freaking damage, like something else is going on. You receive some freaking psychological or brain damage or whatever the case may be. There's nobody on the YTC, nobody outside the YTC that's on this level is going to stop Turkey al-Sheikh. If you choose to go in here and stress yourself out, knowing that we don't have the paperwork on how much those trailers cost, we don't have paperwork on the fight cards that he put on. We don't have the paperwork on the receipts on how much it costs for all those legends to be invited over there. All expenses paid to Saudi on a special list of people. We don't know how much it costs for him to provide all those luxury vehicles for some of these people to drive around and be chauffeured in while they was over there. We don't have documentations on where you went to the doctor to get a medical evaluation as to why you're not smart enough to be more selective on what you choose as a topic. And what Turkey al-Sheikh pockets look like should not even cross your thought process because you can't change it. That man has too much money for us to have Americans over here talking about what money he's losing on a fucking fight. When no one was hearing this news talking about this shit when it was over in Riyadh. Nobody was talking about no pay-per-view numbers. But then all of a sudden the card come over here, man, stop it. You make us look bad, bro. All you cats is out here that's doing that. You make us look like we're incompetent, man. Like our thought process, we're degenerates. We're psychological dilapidated. We need renovations, but only a medical field. Inverted crowd therapy. Neuralink. It seemed like you need some psychological codependency from other freaking objects. You need the medical attention. Nobody talks about the president and how much this freaking country is in debt, but you want to come over here and talk about a foreign entity that's participating in boxing when you don't sit up here and ask questions about why we are in debt and we got to pay taxes and why gas is so high and why there's a shrinkage inflation when you go in your favorite freaking grocery store, a food mart, and buy food and it's less in there than it was before. Well, the bag, when I got those bag of Lay's off it seemed like it was full and you bust it open, it's damn near a little over a quarter of chips in the bag. But you're not writing all these inquiries into those political entities, those names, those politicians. You're not questioning their budget. So if you're not willing to question the commander in chief and everyone that's around him and certain things that we're supplying for other countries, other relief efforts when we have, storms and everything, you're not questioning freaking how we provide money to help those people get back on their feet. So why would you sit up here and act like it's a problem with Turkey al-Sheikh being on deck over here as if you don't have any other concerns? You're not questioning the budget on when we have repairs on the roadways. You're not questioning freaking medical on why is it so freaking expensive. Why the cost of living is becoming unaffordable. Isn't there a lot more other areas that you may, feel that you're more qualified to speak on within your own country rather than worry about somebody that's coming over here and they have the budget? We're not talking about something that we seen the frames start going up. Oh man, that's a new housing development going up. Oh wow. No, we're talking about a sport that's been in existence for years upon years. And not anybody has did anything to change how we have been viewing it and our freaking basic daily routine on how we gather information about the fighters that's fighting in the sport. When has that changed? When have we had the power to change that shit? I'm just asking. When have you seen a summit of individuals getting together and they had a summit meeting on how to better, make boxing beneficial to the fighter? Who's over here providing retirement plans for the fighters? Don't let Turkey Al-Sheikh provide a freaking retirement package for these fighters. They're going to look at him as one of these immortal gods that's here fucking with us. That's the selfish part about it. They won't sit up here and advocate and try to come up with information and try to get people together to come up with a program, complete the impossible for these fighters to have benefits, retirement benefits after their careers ended. They're busy worrying about another man's lining of his pockets. But fighters get over here and their career get ended. They have a brutal knockout. They have an accident outside the ring, or their health start to decline. And they're broke. And what we do as consumers, we'll sit up here and criticize them and say, oh, so-and-so fight for a title. But look, they don't know how much money that particular boxer was able to earn. So they just guessing in the air, man. They may have seen that fighter back in the day in some big fights, but they don't know what that fighter made. They don't know who he had to pay, what he had to buy. How broke was he or she? So I'm telling you, if Turkey Al-Sheikh comes up with a retirement plan for these fighters, it's over. It's over, because that's the only thing that's really, what that keeps, the hole in the life raft that's gonna sink these fighters is no retirement plan. If these fighters are able to make some type of adjustment or pay into some type, and Turkey Al-Sheikh and his people are able to get to a point where fighters have a retirement plan or something that's outside my scope again, it's over. And don't say I never said it. That's the biggest part. Somebody with that much money, is there a way? Is there a process that Turkey Al-Sheikh can build up a different platform with boxing and somehow implement some areas of boxing administratively that will benefit boxers long term, them and their families and their medical and all that? Is it a possibility with somebody who has the type of money? Because putting on fights are great. Putting on fights are great. But can he stay in the sport long enough to the point where he can develop a plan, an insurance plan, a retirement plan? We'll see. We will see. The Saudis still have Project 2030, that skills challenge setup, original investment company, which was investment in boxing from grassroots to the big fights until 2030 at least. That's enough time, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about 6 years per se. A little over 6 years. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what the progress, because so far in such a short little span, he's been able to move the needle. Now I say this, there's gonna be some people that saying he's not moving the needle, and look, you can say they're drinking from that cup of contradiction, because the only way that they're gonna say that the Turkey Al-Sheikh is not moving the needle is because they want to put it as if they know the numbers, but they don't know the numbers, because everything is based off what? Business. And a lot of people over here assume that they know the business of boxing. But if they don't know the exact figures, they're gonna say he ain't moving the needle. He putting on fights, but man, so and so ain't making. No. He's moving the needle. There's fighters that's fighting over there that want the Riyadh card. They want the Riyadh card. Fighters are trying to get that fight over there in Riyadh because obviously the money is looking good. So we have to see how the post continues year after year after year from this point on. You know what I'm saying? I'm eager to see that myself. Seriously, I'm very eager to see that change myself. And you know what I'm saying? I had dropped the link in the chat, but you know, I'll drop it a little bit later too, man, because I really want to get others' opinions on what they think of Turki Al-Sheikh. I mean, a lot of people don't want to talk about it as if they don't like change, but he's moving the needle right now. He's making fight cards that couldn't be made in the U.S. And the only thing that was missing off this recent Crawford Madrimov card outside of Isaac Cruz and Jose Valenzuela is that freaking Tim Tszyu Virgil Ortiz fight. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get that trifecta. God damn. Yo. That shit would have been unbelievable. But it's just the fact that it's the potential is there for him to make cards like that moving forward. I'm very much anticipating the matchmaking process in this freaking Riyadh season. Seriously, I'm looking forward to the matchmaking process in this Riyadh season, and I know people are already saying that it's gonna be favoritism, and you know, with Turki Al-Sheikh and you know certain fighters that is over at match. I don't know about that because Eddie Hearns just had Madrimov. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't get the job done. So, yeah, let's be patient, man, and see what's popping. You know what I'm saying? And see, you know, what the needle looks like. See what the post sounds like. You know, see what the new inventions, you know, what innovative changes that Turki Al-Sheikh can make to boxing. But this is what I'll leave you with. You know, it ain't personal with me. It's just financial statements will shut down all of this shit. If you don't have financial statements, that goes for Coppinger, Raphael, Eidik, all these individuals. They putting out bogus ass numbers too. They're not God. If you can't tell me at this point in time where you getting these numbers from, I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear people out here pushing these numbers as if it's accurate. Because you have people that's quick to say, okay, I deem them as somebody of importance. That's a VIP right there. Okay. So that you mean that person is just like almost a pastor. All the pastor has to do is persuade the congregation that what he's talking when it comes to religion has some type of validation of credibility, some type of substance, some type of truth to it. And that's what's going on in here. You get the same people who's dropping this information, depending on the fighter, on whether they want to increase or decrease the exposure of releasing these bogus ass numbers. But please don't come back on here talking about no Turki Al-Sheikh, bro, and his pockets. But man, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Till next time, I'm